Welcome back to Collective Perspective, everyone. This is episode 15. Craig, you suggested that we talk about some of our more lengthy hunts for items in our collection, and I think it was actually inspired by a pickup that you had today. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what that is live on the air. But first, let's talk about the hunt itself. Is there any strategy that you would suggest to the listeners who are wanting to find some extremely rare items for their collection?
It's really hard. I mean, I guess the most basic thing you could do is the eBay save search. That's definitely the only way you're really going to see some crazy stuff pop up as soon as it does, especially if it's something that you know other people are looking for as well. Um, One thing I do, since you'll see a theme with mine, almost all of mine are from the same console. You all know I'm a GameCube guy. When it comes to variant hunting, just anytime you have time to go to a game store, if you're looking for something specific, I mean, I always just pull out almost every game, even if I have it already, or if I know, or if I think that it doesn't have a variant, just because I like to check and see if I notice anything different on the cover that I've never seen before, or anyone else has never noticed before. So diligence and eBay save searches are probably the two best things you can do. But other than that, it's really just about patience and luck.
Those all four of those things all go hand in hand, I would say. That is a good idea. Looking that's a really good tip. Looking at things even if you think they don't have variants, I think that's a good tip for sure.
Yeah, if you're a weirdo like us, that's the kind of thing you gotta do to find the cool stuff. For example, today, what inspired this episode is Curious George on the GameCube. And you're thinking, great, a $10 GameCube game. But try to find another copy that has nothing right here. Every single copy that you'll find on eBay right now, unless I'm unlucky, and of course today's the day a copy gets posted on eBay for the first time in like 2 years, because that's how long I've been looking for this, has a sticker there that says free movie ticket, and it's not like on the outer side of the plastic, it's actually printed onto the case. So the version of Curious George without the movie ticket is super, super hard to find. I've debated with other GameCube collectors in the past because they said that they thought that it existed, and I was like, "There's no way." Like one of us would have found it by now if it existed. And then, lo and behold, today I go to a store that I never go to in town just because I was nearby, and they have a copy without the sticker on it. So I just thought that that was kind of incredible that random chance I happened to be by the store in town and I happened to look at Curious George just to see. I finally have confirmation that there is a copy with no movie ticket.
Further proving that there was more than one print run of this movie tie-in game
Yeah,
for children.
it is.
Um,
It's wild. It's really wild.
so I obviously can't see what you're sharing, but does that have a manual, and is it like in an authentic GameCube case?
Yes, it is. So that was the first thing I thought was I was like, is this a printed cover maybe? But I pulled it out, and you can just always kind of tell when it's reprinted,
For
even if it's
sure.
on really high quality paper, and they do their best to make it so that you don't know. You can just tell that it's legit. And for a while, I thought like maybe it's like just a Canada thing or something that didn't get the movie ticket, because that's the case with Ant Bully as well on
Hmm.
GameCube. The Ant Bully, the North American version, every single copy came with a movie ticket. There's no print run, as far as I'm aware. All the research I've done, all the hunting I've done, that has any version without the movie ticket. But the Canadian version doesn't have a movie ticket. So I thought maybe a Canadian version of Curious George is the one that doesn't have a movie ticket. But there is no French Canadian text on this bad boy anywhere. So it is a North American print as well, or a states print, I guess is the best way to put it.
Well, congratulations. That's pretty awesome, man.
Yeah, I was super excited. I My fiance was like, "Why are you so happy?" And I was like, "It's Curious George. I've been looking for it for so long." And she's like, "Great, don't you have all the GameCube games?" I'm like, "You don't understand." So that was fun. That was a good time.
Well, that's all the advice you need right there. A couple more things I would say: save searches across like eBay, Mercari, even local sites like OfferUp. Maybe you can create save searches, and while while you're not going to necessarily find hardly anything on OfferUp, right? Like if I were to go and look for a rare complete in box Game Boy Advance game, zero chance of finding it on OfferUp.
Pretty much.
But you might still want to put a save search out there. I'm just saying.
Yeah, you never know. Someone
Um,
might just have like video game lot and it's just kind of thrown in there or something. But
Yeah.
things like Macari and OfferUp are like no longer sacred. They've been totally like drenched and dried up of anything in terms of a good deal.
right. Check the save searches multiple times a day. Make them broad enough to pick up like a variety of spelling errors, but also narrow enough that you won't have a completely unrelated item every 5 minutes.
Yeah, if you're
Um,
not like Christian with your eBay searches looking like the scrawlings of a serial killer, you're not doing it right.
yeah, yeah, um, for sure. And I think, yeah, that's all I wanted to say about that. eBay definitely the best place for just video game collecting in general, but Mercari is another place I have a lot of save searches set up. You cannot really narrow it down a lot on Mercari. It's a lot more difficult.
You do make a good point though too, that I forgot to mention in terms of checking save searches multiple times a day, because sometimes eBay doesn't alert you right away
Oh
when
yeah.
something comes up. So sometimes it's worth to just checking once in a blue moon just to see anyway. So it definitely helps, but sometimes you don't get that email or that push notification until it's already sold, unfortunately, and that's always very heartbreaking.
I tell you what, my you go to that Screen Time app on iPhone, it says eBay like top because I am constantly on that app.
Just
Even above
refreshing.
Instagram. Yeah.
Other stuff, like Craig said, local game stores, check them when you can. If you're like me, you have to travel a good half hour. You're not able to go and check it once a week or whatever. But you know, you can follow them on social media for sure. If they have social media, a lot of them do, and they'll post their not pickups. They'll post their like, you know, stuff they just got in, stuff that's about to go on the shelf. And then on top of that, develop a relationship with the store owner or
Oh
the
yeah.
workers there. Let them know what you're keeping an eye out for so that they can also keep an eye out for it and text you when it comes in. Things like that.
Yeah, that's definitely a good idea. Never hurts to be friends with people that work in video game shops. One, because why not be friendly with them? You're going there all the time. Might as well get to know them a little bit. But also because it is nice and they are usually willing to help you out, nudge you, put something to the side for you if they know something you might be interested in. I definitely, when I worked at a game store for a little while, was doing that. If I knew someone was looking for something, or like even a coworker, if I knew that they wanted something they weren't there that day, the first thing I'd usually do is put it to the side under the register and be like, I'll wait and see if they want it before I put it out.
That's awesome.
So what's the first thing you
Um,
got?
First thing I have, yeah, so we kind of wrote down a few things each here. I think I'm just gonna run through these real quick. They're nothing crazy, and then I'll let you go through yours.
Oh, but I
I guess
have
the
like
first
stories
one.
attached to mine, so I don't know if people like the Craig ramblings or not.
All right, we'll alternate. We'll alternate.
Just in case, I don't want everyone to get tired of me.
The very first one I want to talk about, majority of things I was like trying to figure out what to write down for this, and the majority of things that have taken me like years to find are Rayman items.
Oh, I'm
And
sure.
And that's because I haven't finished any sets yet, like Craig has. Um, I didn't have like one last game to find on the Game Boy Color or something. Like I haven't gotten to that point in my collecting career yet. So most of my stuff has been Rayman items. That's what I want like everything in the world for. And I kind of want to make a Rayman like collection video. So I'm just gonna mention one Rayman item here. That'll be like a little teaser for the video or whatever. But I just recently got this Rayman E3 earring. It is a promotional item from E3. It says the live Rayman show starring Rayman on it. Um, I didn't talk about this on Collective Perspective, did I?
No, I don't believe so.
Okay.
This doesn't ring a
uh,
bell to me, so.
It's pretty nuts that this exists. I think what they were going for was like how a pirate wears an earring.
Oh, yeah.
um,
It's like a slightly large golden hoop that you could wear.
Which Rayman is
Um,
it supposed to be promoting? Two?
Rayman 2, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say that makes sense.
So I actually got a message on Instagram from somebody who was like, "Hey, I heard you're a Rayman collector. Check this out. I have two available if you're interested." Um, or maybe it was just one available. I don't remember what happened, but he wanted $50, and I don't know. I didn't have a big boy job at the time. This was a few years ago, and I was just like, I know a guy that wants that, so I actually reached out to a fellow Rayman collector, let him have it. Long story short, I just found this one pop up like maybe a month ago, 2 months ago, and it was $25 on eBay. I had to buy it instantly. Never ever seen one on eBay before, so that was really freaking awesome. But yeah, that's number one for me.
Promotional items are definitely a bear to find. I always want to get more promotional stuff, like E3 things, or just like weird how they have like there's like a GameCube like golfing set and stuff like that. Like, and I'd love to get that kind of stuff. It's just so hard to come by. But that's really cool, and that's very unique and earring. I find that hilarious. All right.
You're up, pal.
Next up for me, we got Barbie Grooming Gang Pups on the 3DS. So this one, when I was going for the 3DS set, obviously, I mean, not obviously, if you don't know, this is like, I mean, people will shrug and roll their eyes, but this game is like Stadium Events rare, and if you don't believe me, try to go find another copy for sale right now. The best you'll find is a loose cartridge or one with like a bid over $1,000. Like, this game is disgustingly hard to find. So when I was going for the 3DS set, that one was, of course, something that I was dreading because I really wanted it, and for a while I wasn't even sure if it was a real game or not because there wasn't like a lot of stuff about it online. There was a copy eventually about 6 months into me going for the set on eBay. It was a brand new copy for $200. I was like, man, that's expensive. I don't want to spend that much. So I just didn't bother. And then I was not able to find another copy for about another 6 months after that. And then it was on bid on eBay and it ended around $900. And I was like, oh God, how am I going to even come across this now? And I did something that I guess we could have suggested in the beginning I didn't think about. There was a 3DS collectors group on Facebook that I was a part of.
Oh,
and there was
yeah.
somebody on there that had a copy. And they're like, hey, I found this at a pawn shop. I know it's really expensive. I could use the money and I don't really care about the game. Someone shoot me an offer. And I was like, holy cow, okay, maybe this is my chance. And I wanted to get it. I offered him 500. He said that was too low. Somebody offered him 6. So I said, all right, whatever, like 650. And they said someone else said 675. And I was like, he's probably just messing with me to try to get me to pay more, but that's fine because I need it. And I was like, all right, I'll cap it 7. 700 is my limit. So I was like, all right. I was like, dude, it is a lot of money for a shovelware game. I know it's rare, but I was like, I don't think I could do more than like 700. That's what's gonna kill me. And he's like, okay, can you pay today? And I was like, I can't. Actually, it was when I was saving up for an engagement ring to propose to my fiance. So I was like, wow, I didn't even think about the timing of this. I just saw the game and got all excited. So that had to go on hold for a little while. And I was like, man, I was like, I know, I was like, I'm sure more people want this than me. I was like, would you be willing to hold it for me? And I was like, there's no way he's going to say yes if someone else offered him about the same amount of money. And he was
Right.
like, yeah, I don't mind. He's like, you seem like a nice guy. And I'm like,
Wow.
Wow.
that's weird, but okay, whatever. So maybe another month goes by, and like I just kind of like sell stuff to my local store and on eBay to scrounge some extra money to try to get this. And I emailed the guy, or I messaged him on Facebook again. I was like, hey, do you still have this? And a week goes by and he doesn't answer me. I'm like, oh, it's probably gone. And then a few days later, he messages me after that, and he's like, hey, yeah, sorry, I was just out of town. You still want it? And I was like, yeah. He's like, will you do 750? And I was like, come on, dude. But I just said, okay, sure. I was like, whatever. I was like, in that entire time, not another one went up for sale either on eBay or anything. So I was like,
Of course.
I'm going to regret it if I don't just do it. I'll cop up the extra 50. So I went ahead, I purchased it from him, came all the way from Canada, and now it is mine. But I just feel like the whole thing felt weird, and it was odd that he was willing to hold it, and I'm pretty sure he was just raising the price on me and no one else was making an offer on it.
Right.
It's like since then, 3 more copies have come up for sale. 3, and that's it. And they've all sold for over $1,000. So, at the end of the day, I made the right decision at least. But that was kind of an odd little journey to get that one, and I just think it's kind of a funny little story, especially
Yeah.
since it's related to getting the by far and large rarest game on the 3DS.
I think Retro Game Trader has one, right? On
I believe he
Instagram.
does too. Yeah, there's I think he has one, and then I believe you pronounce it Gladius or Gladius. He's another big person in the collecting scene, video game station, all that. I know he has one too. So, but there's not a lot of people that have confirmed copies because I think it was just low print, and I think it just kind of went out to die, and then no one held on to their copies because it was a little girl game, quote unquote. So,
Is the theory that it's Canadian only?
hmm
Okay. Did you already say that?
yes, yes. So,
Okay.
I've all the copies that have went up for sale and have sold, as far as I remember, all came out of Canada, and every single copy has French Canadian text. There isn't any confirmed copies without it. So,
Yep, and that's that Little Orbit publisher or whatever. They have some other weird games for sure.
Like
and
as
on
far as
3DS
quick runs go.
specifically, there's a lot of weird 3DS games that they did. So, if you're into 3DS collecting, definitely look out for the Little Orbit logo.
Little Orbit. Very cool, very cool.
Little Orbit, big
I'm glad you
problem.
brought that up.
All right, what you got?
Well, nothing compared to that. Let's see here. The next one took me about a year to a year and a half to find. I got it in October of 2021, almost a year ago. I have not seen another one since. It is the 6-pack on Game Boy Advance of Risk, Battleship, Clue, Perfection, Connect 4, and Trouble. Everyone's favorite compilation of games. So, um, I don't have any crazy story for this one, but if you don't know, it's 2 cartridges in one box. I would count it as a variant. I would not count it towards the set per se. Very hard to find, and yeah, it cost me $50. It popped up. Buy it now on eBay. Um, Definitely would have sold for more if it was an auction. Definitely would have sold for more if like my fellow GBA collectors were out there like looking for it. Definitely recommend Save Search all the way. That's how I found this one. It was interesting that it was $50. You know, the collector definitely knew, or I'm sorry, the seller definitely knew that it was worth something. He probably went on eBay, looked really hard for another one to figure out what to price it at, didn't see a single one. And I think he just pulled $50 out of his butt. So I think that I know for a fact you could find this for dirt cheap at a game store. It's a compilation of board games, you know.
No one's
That's
gonna think
just-
twice about it.
Yeah. Especially because they're gonna eBay Risk Battleship Clue and find it, you know, the regular 3-pack copy and see it for $5 shipped. So that's yeah, definitely get yourself a copy of that whenever you find it, if you find it.
That is definitely a tough one to find. There's a lot of weird Game Boy Advance ones like that. Right, next up for me, I have one you're really looking for right now, Pokemon Box.
Great.
So I got the big box right here with me, and that's just because I didn't feel like taking out the copy inside of there. So when I was going for the GameCube set, obviously I knew that it's always been an expensive game, even before it was a $1,000 game. It was always one of the few that was like over $200. I think it was the only one over $200 at one point, maybe over 300. I might be mixing that up, but that one I found locally. I believe it was in 2018 now. So I found it on OfferUp. Had no manual, and the person wanted $280 for it, and I was just like, man, that's a lot of money. I hope I can find the manual, but I'll try to get it. So I contacted the guy. I was going out of town the next day, so I was like, hey, can we meet up early in the morning? whatever place you want to meet up. I'll have the cash, and then we could get rolling. He's like, yeah, sure, I'll meet you there in the morning. And then I go the next morning, and I wait there for an hour, and he ghosts me. So I do not get my copy
my
of
God.
Pokemon Box. I was very sad about it. So then that morning, like I said, I was going out of town, so I drove to Arizona. When I get to Arizona, I have a little bit of time to kill before I have something to do that night. And there's a game store out there called Fallout Games, one of my favorite game stores that I've ever been to. Super nice people, great selection of games and all that. I walk in there, I look at the GameCube games, I'm like, oh, they have a wider selection than most, so I'll pick up a bunch of filler like titles that I needed, and then I decided to look at their glass case, and what's in there? Go-Go Hyper Grind, Fantasy Star Online 1 and 2 Plus, Gotcha Force, Cubivore, and Pokemon Box. I shit you not, they had all of that at once, and they were all complete. I already had all of them except for Go-Go Hyper Grind and Pokemon Box. So, and at the time I didn't, Go-Go Hyper Grind was only like a $60 to $70 game at the time. So I passed on it, but when I saw Pokemon Box and I asked how much it was, and they said, yeah, we'll do 200 on it. And it had
Wow.
it had everything except for the big box. It had all the stickers, all the inserts, the manual, all the memory card. The stickers were not on the memory card, so the stickers were still brand new. And I was like, oh my god, this is the best day ever. So then the guy, I'm like, can you guys, like plug it in, make sure the disc runs fine and all that, just because it's a lot of money? And they're like, yeah. And then the people that work there are trying to talk me out of buying it. They're like, this really isn't a game. It's just kind of like a storage thing. It's a lot of money. I think you'd be wasting it if you bought it on this. And I was like, no, I definitely want it. And they were like, wow, it's been sitting. They're like, it's been sitting here for over a year, so we're glad to move it. And I was like, oh my god, how did it sit? How did it sit here for a year for $200 and nobody batted an eye at it? That blew my
What
mind.
year was this?
This was 2018, so even in 2018, I believe it was around a $300 to $400 game in that condition. So for 200, I was like, okay. I just couldn't believe that it sat there and nobody cared. So apparently, you could find some real hidden gems in Tempe, Arizona.
Was that like out in the sticks or something? I'm not familiar with that city.
It's actually near their big university, Arizona State University, ASU.
Man.
So maybe they just don't have a lot of game collectors out there or something. But I just remember being like my jaw to the floor, like holy cow, I can't believe I just found this, and for that cheap. So
The best part is that guy wanted 280 and he ghosted you. That's the best part of that story.
yeah, I know. What the hell was with that? I was so mad that morning because I was like, man, I was gonna like go out to breakfast and stuff, but since I wasted all that time waiting, I had to go to McDonald's drive-thru. It's okay. Joke's on him. I got the better deal.
My next one's pretty lame. I didn't even bring it over here because I know how you guys are with condition. I'm not showing it. It's not great. Literally just came in the mail like 2 days ago or yesterday. The Resident Evil Special Edition on GameCube. It is a reddish, I don't know. It's like a reddish tin. Before steelbooks were really popularized, GameStop had this exclusive tin that came with some extra crap inside, and you got the copy of the game. Resident Evil 4 specifically. I don't know if I said that, but it is a little dented, but I've had the save search for about 5 years. I kid you not. It was like one of my very first save searches when I found out it existed, and it's not rare by any means. It's kind of uncommon, I guess, but I've just never wanted to spend triple digits on it or whatever it goes for. I've never wanted to spend that on it, and I got it for $25 just like last week. So that was perfect timing for this video, actually.
Remember you
Big thanks on
texted
it.
me. You're like, hey, is this everything that's supposed to come in it besides the game? I'm like, yeah. And you're like, okay, cool, I'm gonna get it. And I couldn't believe it was a $25. It's like, holy hell.
The dent isn't terrible by any means. Like, I think a normal person would pick it up and buy it, but I have a lot of subscribers that just really care about condition, so we're just not even gonna show it.
Hey, we're
Y'all have lost.
collectors of class. We have very high taste.
What else you got?
Next one for me. I'm not going to go too deep into detail because I'm going to self-promote and say I have my own YouTube video on this on my own channel. But
There
the
you go.
Elusive Duo Pack on the GameCube. Obviously, this is like the heat of all heat, the heavy of all heavies. I feel like I'm gonna break my wrist just showing it to the camera right now because how heavy it is. Uh, Here, let's get some good camera shots since there's not a lot of footage of this bad boy anywhere. There you go. See,
You owe the world some scans of that, honestly.
I really want to because this is like I'm pretty sure we still only know of 6 of these that are like confirmed to be in collectors' hands. It's still a very like legitimately that small of an amount. And this one was another one a few years ago. Other hardcore GameCube collectors might remember. There was somebody on eBay who his name was called Only One Chance, and it's kind of funny because he was literally auctioning off all these different GameCube games and variants and special editions that like people have been looking for years. And he had it like going on the course over a week. It's like this guy really planned it out, and the final thing that ended was the duo pack, and it sold brand new for $6,500. And then the next day, somebody else that had one posted for $6,501. And
Yeah.
everyone was like, good lord, that's a lot of money. And I was like, all right, great, I'll never have it. And then within the same week, somebody on a Facebook group I was a part of said that they had one. And they're like, hey, I found this locally. So if anyone wants to buy it from me or trade, I will gladly do it because I would rather have more stuff. And I was like, sick, what do you want? And I traded him a bunch of complete box Super Nintendo and some
Oh
loose
yeah.
N64, and that is how I got it. So I think at the time the stuff I traded for it was valued around 3 grand. So I didn't spend any money. I just traded 3 grand worth of games that he wanted for this, and uh, I'm sure a lot of people think that that's crazy, but I am very happy to own this. It's like my pride and joy. And as the person going for everything and anything GameCube, this is the one thing that I know I'll never find again. So it's like, even if I had to start over, this would be the one thing I would keep.
Yeah, and you love Super Monkey Ball, right?
Yeah, Super Monkey Ball and Sonic I'm a big fan of. Those
Right.
are both like childhood games for me. I've always been a Sonic Heroes defender, even though I know it's not the greatest game. I'm very nostalgic for it, so it has a special place in my heart.
These games, that was a crazy couple of weeks for the GameCube like scene. I remember that very distinctly.
Yeah, there's still weird things that came out of that too, like a couple of like random games that had like inserts that nobody else has been able to figure out like where they came from because no one's seen anything with like stickers or new copies that came with them. So
Oh wow.
that could be like a whole YouTube video on itself. I should try to make at one point because there was a lot of weird stuff that came out of those auctions. It was really fun.
Nintendo Collector 64. I remember that man had gotten one of them as well, one of the eBay listings.
Yes, he got one of those duo packs. He has a lot of really cool GameCube stuff as well. We've conversed a lot over the years and kind of helped each other out find variants. So I have a lot of respect for that guy. We've been there for each other. Almost like a little bit of a fun competition too, because it's like, hey, I found this thing. Now it's your turn to try to find it. Good luck.
Yeah, that guy knows a lot about N64 and GameCube.
Oh yeah. All right, what you got
Like I
next?
said,
Like I said, my game's nowhere near as crazy as Craig's. Anyways, I'm gonna stop prefacing it with that.
Yeah,
took
give
me like
yourself
a
more
year and
credit.
It took me like a year and a half to find this one. I got it in April of this year in a lot of 5 games. It is Jimmy Neutron versus Jimmy Negatron. Um, Very uncommon game. I really do not ever see this one pop up. I guess there could be one right now. I probably deleted my save search, but shout out to Coffee with Mr. Saturn because he showed me an eBay link. It was like $60 for 5 games, so I essentially paid like $11, $12 for this. Missing the cartridge, easy to go find the cartridge for that one, but very tough to find. Very, uh, I don't know, tough to find game.
pretty awesome
Yeah.
find though.
Also, shout out to Coffee and Mr. Saturn because he sold me my copy of that game. I have it as well, and I bought it off of him.
Love that guy.
Yeah, he's really great. He is like the king of Game Boy Advance. I don't know how he found and came across and has held on to as many things as he has. It's pretty crazy.
He did research probably when I was still in like middle school, like he's been doing it for a good 15 years or so.
He's been around. Alright, next one I got. This one was about a year-long search as well. This is the player's choice version of Rampage Total Destruction on GameCube. It is the rarest player's choice game on GameCube if you don't count the double packs. I had to save search for this for about a year, and it took that long for one to pop up, and when it finally did pop up, it was a new copy, so I ended up buying it. It had like
Oh wow.
the weird kind of wrap where it was like shrink wrapped over, not the Y-fold sealed, so I opened it up because I was afraid that it was like maybe fake. I just always get paranoid with shrink wrap seals because they're so easy to fake. Ended up being legit, so that worked out. Kind of wish I would have kept it sealed now that I know. But, yeah, not a story behind this one, just kind of a pro tip if you're going for GameCube's player choice. Keep an eye out for Rampage Total Destruction.
Yeah, I didn't know about that. I'm gonna have to go make a safe search tonight. So this last one you actually helped me out with. I've been looking for this for probably a year and a half again. Not a Game Boy Advance game this time, but it would always pop up for high prices on eBay. So not the rarest game, but it was always high when it did pop up, and I'm just a huge Marvel fan and I want all the Marvel games one day. But Blade on Game Boy Color,
Yeah.
Not
not the most common game. Highly recommend you keep an eye out for it. This one might be cheap at a game store. It's like a movie tie-in game, and those aren't always expensive. So, yeah, basically,
I
Hey,
think
Craig.
that was when I worked at the game store, right? I think I found it and I was like, "Hey, do you want this?"
you might have been done working there, or you might have still been working there. But yeah,
Because I
Um,
feel like I got my discount on that for you. That's why
you
I
got
think
the
I
discount on
remember.
it.
I think it was $100. I got it for 80, and then you shipped it to me, and then the following week, one sold for like $50 on auction, and I think it was sealed, and I was like, Craig, you got to be kidding me, man.
Um,
Sometimes life kicks you in the balls.
Sometimes you got to live with stuff like that. I mean, anytime you're buying something for a high price, you're taking a risk, and everybody knows that going in.
Everyone overpays at some point. Eventually, you gotta
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
that guy. It's always gonna be your turn at some point.
Yeah, absolutely.
Next two, the last couple I have, I'm gonna kind of keep as a bundle because they're more GameCube variants, but kind of like in a similar theme. So here I have FIFA 2007 Soccer. This is the Mexican version. Has the ESRB logo and all that, but it has the PAL cover instead of the cover the rest of North America got, which is kind of cool.
Cool.
And then the variant for NHL 2004, I believe this guy's name is Joe Czak or something like that. It's a completely different player than what you commonly find on the GameCube. So for the FIFA game, I found that randomly. I didn't even know it existed. So not so much a long hunt, but no, I knew it existed. I didn't know if it was like a confirmed variant. So it was one I was keeping an eye out for a long time. And I was just randomly looked up GameCube one day on eBay, and I saw it in a lot with a random games, a bunch of other filler titles for like $60. So I went ahead and picked it up. I haven't seen another copy since, so definitely keep an eye out for this if you want to. Since then, there's one on eBay for like $400, and that's the only other copy that I've seen. And then this NHL 2004 variant. I wanted it for a long time, for a while. I couldn't find it. Now there's a few on eBay. This copy right here was $100. The other copy that's been setting up for a long time is $200. And this one, my fiance just surprised me with as a gift one day because I told her that there was a copy cheap on eBay, and she's like, "Send me the link." And I was like, "Okay." And then she's like, "All right, I'll be here next week." So that was really cool of her. But yeah, so I'm also kind of using this video as kind of a cool showcase for GameCube variants. Sorry, I know it's not the point, but I kind of decided.
Oh, I know everybody loves to see it. Everybody loves to see it.
Last two, these two I looked for a very long time. One of them I didn't know if they existed or not. One of them I did, and I just had to search. A lot of these I'm not really saying the time because I just kind of decided like, is this something that I searched for over a year? Is it interesting? Cool. I'll include it in this topic. So we have Charlie and the Chocolate Factory on GameCube with the movie ticket. You find this game all the time, but the movie ticket variant is very hard to find. It's a sticker on the outside. It comes with the ticket. Same with Monster House with the movie ticket. This is by far the hardest movie ticket variant to find, in my opinion. So yeah, could keep a lookout for those. And they took me a long time to find, so that's why they were mentioned.
That's freaking awesome, man. Well, I hope you guys learned something from this video because I'm out here learning stuff. I do have some listener responses, so I want to start asking things in the Discord. So if you're not in the Discord, it's completely free. Go get in the Discord, and your name might pop up in the show. So I had like a really late. I gave people a very. What in the heck am I trying to say? They only had an hour to answer this because yes, last minute. But we did have 2 responses, and V Capone said, I asked, just like for what we've been talking about, like what is a game that you took a long time to hunt down? Yeah, and tell us the story behind that. So V Capone said the game I spent a long time hunting for was Togepi's Great Adventure for the Pokemon Mini. It was the last one I needed to finish the library set. It rarely came up on eBay, and when it did, it either sold quick or was like $600. I even hunted in Japan for it while I was there. I managed to actually find a loose copy with its manual at a random game shop in Japan for 15,000 yen, and used that one to complete my set. But one with a box popped up on eBay months later for $400, and I bought it without any thought. I sold that loose cart and manual copy to recoup some money.
There you go. The Pokemon Mini is definitely interesting. All of those games are pretty hard to find because no one bought that thing. That's a fun little library to look into for those of you out there that have never heard of that one.
Yeah, I had no idea until last week's stream. We were talking about it, and I had looked it up, and I was like, wow, I can't believe I've never seen this thing ever.
Super interesting, right? Super bizarre.
It's like a little Tamagotchi.
Mm-hmm.
Funtime Wallace said, Fragile Dreams for the Wii. I took my almost 5 years to find it in a game store, and I paid a lot less for it than what it's worth now, thankfully.
Nice. Yeah, that one, I think that game's kind of slept on in terms of its rarity. I've only come across it maybe twice in person, so that's a pretty hard to find game, at least locally.
I did a quick search. It was it was definitely triple digits. You're not getting it for under $100. But yeah, I'd never heard of it. It's published by Xseed, and pretty much anything Xseed touches, you need to keep an eye out for. That's all I know. Well, that's going to wrap it up for episode 15. Definitely our longest episode yet.
Yeah, that was a fun one.
Let us know how you're feeling about the length. If it's too long and you're just tired of listening to us, let us know in the comments.
Yeah, let us know. Do you like when we ramble, or more specifically, I ramble, or do you prefer the bite-sized topics that we do? Let us know below.
I like when you ramble, Craig.
Oh, thank you. You're so sweet.